be a real shame if he sent us a defective one.
I know. I mean, he said be honest, but I feel like he wouldn't have gone to all the trouble to reach out to me if that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, I have good news and bad news.
All right.
The good news is it's closer to what we're looking for. The bad news is it's backwards. So this whole thing has turned into quite the saga. This is iteration number 3, and he swears he got it right this time. I got a thing. Guy hit me up. Joe makes a few variable amperage controls for TIG welders. That's hilarious. It's got a button. I don't know what this does yet, but I love that. Maybe if that's like a foot pedal situation. And there's a button here. Wonder if that's like on and then amperage up. This one is very clearly meant to go on a TIG torch, and so this one is a thumb rocker. So you can hear it click on, and then after the click, like an old television set, it goes up from there.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here.
You out of here?
Yeah.
You don't want to stick around and watch me electrocute myself?
As intriguing as it sounds. Go to a bar.
Having experience in the custom car world, you can tell a lot about how much someone cares by how they do their wiring. So it's got this nice cable wrapping, heat shrink at the ends. Of course, this is the Everlast specific plug, but he does them for other welders. And on the other side, you know, I mean, he is a welder himself, so he made, you know, that's probably just a section of aluminum pipe. This is whatever you want to call it. The electrical spinny thing.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing this thing is wild. This one has a button on the back side and a like joystick that only goes in the Y axis on this side. Steve and I have talked at length about the ideal handheld amperage controller. There's a lot that I hate out there. For instance, you know, that's on, off, on, off, on, off. And when you can control your machine, like setting up a pulse or an upslope or downslope, that's enough. But sometimes you want variable control if you're welding sensitive things. In many cases, you go to the foot pedal, but in some projects, you don't want to have to move the foot pedal around, or like that roll cage, or any roll cage or that kind of thing. It's like, weird. You don't want to lay in the car and then have to put the foot pedal under your foot and have to do that and that, which is why I usually set up a pulse. But it would be nice not to have to dial in a pulse every time and just have like a variable sort of amperage control, which is what I'm guessing that is. It's kind of a nice tactile.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Whereas this one's got a button on the back and then a wee woo, wee woo. On the front.
Real technical terms around.
So
the shop.
I'm going to use the Everlast 210 EXT that I've had for years. I have this number 9 torch that doesn't have a trigger on it, so I feel like this is a good one to test with, you know, and see, that's why that piece is curved, because you just zip tie on there where you want it, and then you can, whereas this one is flat with a button on back. So I almost wonder if this is like meant to be held.
For TIG, that doesn't quite make any sense.
I need my hands, so I'm not sure what the point of that is. So I'm gonna try the volume knobby deal here first. One of the problems I have is that I taught myself how to TIG weld backwards. I actually taught myself to hold the torch with my left hand and feed with the right, because I figured the feeding was gonna be the hardest part. I was wrong, but I had already learned that way. So this, to me, seems like it's set up for a right-handed person, but I suppose I could use that with my left hand. And this is gonna seem janky, but literally every TIG controller is zip tied on, just because you change it all the time.
I did the same. I eat most food with a fork in my right hand.
Yeah.
But when I have to cut something with a fork and knife, the knife goes. I have to put the knife in my right hand.
No.
Yeah, I can't cut stuff with my left hand, so I use the fork.
Oh. I do that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I swap.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll cut. And I think I just try to teach myself how to eat with
Same.
the fork on
Yep.
the left side.
Same.
But if it's a no knife situation, I'm grabbing it with the right.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
I would have taught myself to weld the same way.
Yeah. But if and that's the thing too, if I'm just tacking something and I'm not adding filler, I will do it with my right. The main reason I always hate handheld amperage controllers is that it adds more that your hand has to do. And by default, usually that action ends up moving the torch around. You know, like it affects, like as I put pressure here, it like makes the torch jump around. Whereas like, what I'd like to do is be real smooth.
That's why that thumbstick seems more, at least my speed.
This is the behavior I like.
Yeah.
Because it's just
not too much force.
Because there's an initial sort of click with that one. So let's pop this off. I like he got like really nice connectors and stuff. My name is Joe and I make a fingertip amperage controller for the Everlast Power TIG. I will send you one if you give me your honest opinion about it. But by the way, go subscribe to Joe on YouTube.
Actually, you know, it makes sense to me, and I'm a welder. I designed it.
Yep, so he's got it in his right hand and is rolling it with his pointer finger.
So I got it all plugged in here. He got the right plug for the Everlast, so that's nice.
Wow. Editing together the video for that smaller guy, crazy how much louder this is.
Oh yeah. No, the next generation that Everlast is making, I'm excited for them to send me. They're doing a fan on demand feature. So instead of this thing running constantly, it'll only run when it gets hot.
So it has like internal temperature gauges.
Yeah, like temperature sensors and stuff. When they said that, I was like, guys, thank God.
the Lord.
Where's my Vivor shop stool?
Oh, I stole it.
Actually, so being that this is a variable amp control, I'm gonna set the machine to foot pedal mode, because I believe that it should act the same. So then you can just set the ceiling and then the control will go everywhere from 0 to topping out at that setting you've set there. I'm like cranking it up and it didn't go up. Oh, wouldn't it make sense that you set it to foot pedal mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going up. It's doing something, but I couldn't tell you what. Nope. Off chance that it's a grounding issue. No.
It'd be a real shame if he sent us a defective one.
I know. I mean, he said be honest, but I feel like he wouldn't have gone to all the trouble to reach out to me if that's how it works.
Yeah, if he put a dial on it for an on-off.
yeah, right. You know, I'm setting the ceiling at like 120 amps. No pulse, pedal, DC. Yeah, I don't know. Let me plug the pedal in and make sure like I'm not crazy.
It's not the machine.
Yeah, that all of a sudden my Everlast is dead. And I'm grounded directly to it. So I'm going to use the foot pedal and see if
This is what it should be like.
Yeah.
So you're kind of rocking your foot back and forth.
Yeah, I'm pulsing, which is a habit of mine. I realized I wouldn't be able to do that with this machine. I mean, I'm just welding on a dirty piece of steel, so. But in any case, that's acting how I would expect it to act, so it's not the welder. I guess we could try the other one.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
See what that does.
I'm confused as how to mount it.
Yeah, that's confusing to me. So I'm just gonna start pressing buttons.
Well, so regardless if we got a dud or not, one of the honest reviews is that needs a little instruction booklet.
For sure. And I don't know if Joe just didn't send a construction booklet because we had talked previously or what, but you know, with something like this, I think it would definitely be worth, I mean, just a Word document, you know, like walking people through how it's supposed to work. I do like this modular system. Like in theory, if I had run all these in a sleeve, right, and you just have this toward you into your torch, you could get different
that's cool.
things and like plug them in. So let's see. It's kind of nerve-wracking. Like I don't know what my torch is about to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold this with this hand and see what this does. Okay. It's behaving the same way.
Just as an on-off.
So the button, this one is kind of cool. The button is to establish the arc. And then you hold that and then you rock this as your amperage. It's behaving the exact same way as that one was. Like it goes up for a second and as I keep pushing, it goes down, 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 down. So these are wired the same way.
Or it's not anything between this wire.
Yeah, it's probably maybe
that
a pin out
connector.
there.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, this one felt cool, but I don't know how you would use this. If this was on that in some fashion.
Maybe that's the intent, is that you're supposed to
maybe
hold
the
it like that, and then the button makes contact with the...
Shot myself. High frequency starter.
Maybe that's the intent.
Maybe that is the intent. Hold on. Well, I wonder if for a second this is his idea. I wonder
if when you're
there's
pushing
two holes.
in,
Right, there's two holes here, and so when you apply pressure.
Okay.
If you dial that in right.
Yeah, it's just a sensitive enough button.
Listen, can you hear that? So I'm pushing the button that's on the back side against the, I mean, it's nice, but it's like, that's pretty finicky. Let me take a second and see if I can zip tie it on there the way he might have intended me to. Because there's two holes here. I'm imagining he meant to go like that. It's always being pressed now. I made it too tight.
Okay. I mean, I like the sensitivity of that.
Feel that.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that interesting?
It's a very easy press.
Yeah.
If you're going to push this, you can't help but activate it.
Right, it actually works out. This has to be in perfect alignment though.
Yeah.
I have to control that this
the cord doesn't slip.
cord falls straight back. To me, this feels like revision 1. You know what I mean? Like the sensitivity being dictated by how tight that zip tie is a very unreliable way to count on that. But the control is very nice. There's some very interesting things being tried here, and I want to talk to Joe about what I've experienced now.
Maybe he'll call us tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm gonna hope to link up with Joe and see what's going on. Hopefully it's just me being an idiot.
Yeah.
See ya in just a second. Well, yeah, like, you know, we're filming right now, and I knew it wasn't acting right, so I wanted to troubleshoot it with you so that, you know, it looks good if it, you know, or give it the best chance that it can have, you know?
No, I appreciate it, thanks.
I've got it all set up here. I've got it on 150 amps. Pedal mode, and I'm using the knob, not the rocker thing you sent over, but the knob itself. And I'm gonna kick it on. Yeah, so it actually goes down as I rock the knob. It's only going as high as maybe 25 amps or so. And then as I rock it, it goes 3 amps is the floor, 30 35, yeah. So the max it hits is right after the wheel clicks on, and then as I roll it, it goes down. But it never goes anywhere close to the 150 ceiling that I've set for it.
Obviously, I got one of the wires wrong. Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out, and
Yeah, man.
I'll send you another two.
Okay, if you want, yeah, if you think you can just mix them around.
Yeah, and yeah, I appreciate you not putting it like starting a video going, yeah, I don't know, this thing sucks.
Yeah, well, I figured you deserved a better shot than that.
Well, I'll get it figured out, man. I appreciate it, you know.
Well, yeah, it's part of the R&D process, you know.
Yeah, man. So where are you guys at?
I'm in Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh, okay. I'm in Orange County, California.
Yeah, I think we're about as far apart as we can possibly be.
Right on, man. Well, I'm Joe. It's good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, Joe, you too, man. It's cool what you're trying to do here, and I'd like to try them when they're working.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it, like I said, and I'll get one to you as soon as I can, man.
All right, sounds good. We now know that it's obviously not supposed to function like that. Like Joe said, he sent one to the guys at Everlast, and they tried it and liked it. So that obviously he knows how to wire them up. He said there's some other cheaper welders that have the same plug, so he might have sent me the wrong one. In any case, I'm not going to evaluate anything yet. We'll wait to get it. But being that I've already talked about it in this video, this is phase one. But we shall see what happens with the HotLights Welding variable amp control.
Here we go.
Stay tuned.
Steve's back in the shop.
Building God knows what. Got the jacket and the hat. I mean the gloves.
Mark 3 needs to send you a new jacket.
No, somebody, dude. Somebody send me a new jacket.
We'll rep you, whoever you are. We just need a new one.
It could be pink with Hello Kitty on it. I don't care.
You heard him,
I
folks.
just need it to keep me from catching on fire.
Which has evidently done its job.
Sure has. Well, it's because when you're grinding, that's where all the sparks are hitting. All right. So Joe, Mr. Joe Uriarty, over there at HotLights Welding, sent us this variable amperage controller. And the first one he sent, I think, had some wires jumped, which is understandable because, you know, every welder makes it really hard to figure out their pinouts, so I'm not gonna fault Joe for that. So he sent over a new deal, and we have this knob, just like we talked about before. This one actually feels better. It's got like some real nice tactile nubs and stuff on it, so it's nice, easy to sort of grips your thumb as you roll it. But I'm gonna try exactly what he sent me first. So there's that, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna switch over to my number 9. We'll say these are not the greatest zip ties in the world. Hey, good sound so far. All right, so the idea here actually is that I can set this amperage wherever I want, because I should be able to just dial it in with this. Let's see, I gotta figure out how I wanna
Hold it.
I think I'd like to do most of the movement with honestly, because I taught myself to weld left-handed, I should switch this around. I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna take that
so
out
it is
and put this here.
moderately adjustable.
Yeah, you can flip it. And of course the action's gonna be backwards now. I'm gonna roll it back instead of forward, which is a little counterintuitive. You sort of think push up.
Yeah.
So that might be a little bit of a
Learning curve.
And now that works better with the way I hold a TIG torch. So you can do that, but does it work? That's the whole point. Hey, it works. Wait. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I gotta put it on pedal mode. Sorry, brain fart.
Well, it works as an on-off, and we know that.
Well, it's definitely working now. It's already better than the last one. Okay, it's still all or nothing.
Yeah, it looks like it's jumping back and forth between 10 and 150.
Oh, were you watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, try it again. Well, it would drop down to 10.
Well, that's because I
Started it
off.
Yeah.
And that's the 10 is the end amps, I think. Or no, start amps.
Yeah.
So 10 to 150 is the window, but I should be able to infinitely vary the amperage in between that window. Let's try the other ones he sent me with the new
cord.
Like maybe, yeah, the cord was fixed. Same problem.
All or nothing.
Oh wait, hold on, back. It's backwards. Also, don't try this at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with this thing, it starts at the ceiling, and as I push up, it goes down. I don't, you know, I've not never made my own triggers for welders, so I don't. Maybe that's switching 2 wires. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what he thought he fixed. He seemed to think, well, by that metric, this other one should do the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. We're so close to something that works.
I know.
Like. Well, I have good news and bad news.
All right.
The good news is it's closer to what we're looking for. The bad news is it's backwards. So it starts, once you click it on, it starts at the upper limit of the amperage range. And as you roll it forward, it goes down.
Well, I thought that's what the other one was doing.
No, the other one was starting at the lower range and never moving.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
Well, at least, so the first one, it would just start and wouldn't move it up.
Yeah, it would like start it, like my starting amps is 10 amps right now, and it would start at 10 amps, and I think the other one maybe went up to like
35.
20 or 30 amps, but it, you know, my range was set at 150 amps, so it was even less consistent. Now, at least I'm able to explore the amperage range, but it's inverted. Like it starts at 150, and as I roll it forward, it goes down to my 10 starting amps.
Yeah, that's f***ing weird, man. I mean, that makes more sense now, but I thought that's why, well, the first, so now we're kind of like on the right track then, right?
Well, yeah, we're closer for sure.
So it's just backwards now.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know what? If you don't mind, I could send you another one.
Yeah, sure, man. Hey, so we've been filming all this as an addition to one of our YouTube videos.
Okay.
Are you cool with any of this conversation being in the video, or would you rather wait until we have something that works the way? Because you know, I don't want to like. At no point have I been steamrolling you, but obviously I want it to look, you know, as good for you as possible. But you know, and I want to give you a shout out, but I also don't want to be like, you know, because YouTube comments are brutal.
Yeah, some of those comments, people leave those comments are weird, you know, like.
Oh, bro, I get ripped apart 100 times a day.
Yeah, like sometimes like it'll be like about like a welding video, you know.
Yeah.
And then people will say, "Man, that song you put in there really sucks," or something. I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude, you know, it's not about a song, you know."
I know. Oh, people hate our music choices.
Like, keep pissing them off, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how I know I'm doing it right. The more people complain in the comments. I'm looking straight into camera right now as I say that too. Hey Joe, tell to the camera, tell people in the comments to lay off.
Hey, lay off.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Listen to Joe, nerds. In any case, you know, being transparent and about this whole process,
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
if anything, your willingness to fix the product and get it right is only going to make you look better. So if people give you shit for that, then their opinion doesn't matter.
I don't know if you saw our last video.
Yeah, Like I said, I just want to, get it right, and then, like I said, like I want to stand behind my product.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
All right, dude. Well, there's the update. I'll get these in the mail in the next hour or so, and then I'll look for your package.
All right, cool, man. Awesome.
See you, buddy.
Talk to you in a couple of days.
Yep. Sounds good. Later, bye.
Yeah, I like him.
Like that guy.
Yeah.
So, this whole thing has turned into quite the saga with Mr. Joe Uriarty and HotLights Welding. I thought we were just going to be reviewing a simple torch amperage control, but in fact we're helping a lovely gentleman test his product, essentially. So this is iteration number 3, and he swears he got it right this time. So it's all in the cable. I can keep the 3 controllers that I have.
Okay.
If I don't label this right now,
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm gonna screw it up. Bad.
Bad cable.
Okay, so I got these 3 ends and the new cable. If this were just the beginning of the video, I've already said this, but I am not a fan of most handheld amperage controllers. So, for me personally, there's a big hill to climb here, but I can be swayed. So, like before, Joe has the Everlast 7-pin plug. Now last time it was working, except the limits were backwards. On was full throttle, and as you increased, it went down. So in theory, he should know now what's happening. And I think now he probably just found the right 2 wires to switch around. Yeah, and I had...
And you had switched the side
This
because
is
you're
the one I flopped.
you're a lefty.
Yeah. I promise everyone we're not just turning into a tool review channel, but I thought you guys would find, this was gonna be a very minor part of a video.
Yep.
But now, it's more of a discussion about product development, R&D, guys building cool stuff in their garage, humble beginnings to a business.
A lot of the grassroots side of fabrication that people don't see much of.
So, could this be the one?
Moment of truth.
All right, so yet again, pedal, DC, 151. It's exactly how I had it all set before. Got a piece of stainless. Got some stainless filler. Let's give it a try, skis. Hey, we got it.
It's working?
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, I mean, I've got all my settings dialed in wrong, but it's working the way it should.
Okay.
This is a little number 9 torch, so I'm gonna set the ceiling at 100. I'm gonna set the start amps at, let's have it kick in at 15. So that's our window, 100 to 15.
Just start at the base and then just slowly ramp up. Yep.
I don't have it in the right spot yet, because it's hard to, when you're playing with it, in theory it makes sense that you'd be able to just rock it.
Right.
But when you're only doing it one-handed, this is why I don't like handheld amperage controls. You're asking this one hand to do a lot of things.
Do we now want to try the thumbstick?
Yeah, I really want to try this weird-ass thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the one I could see using. Joe has it all wired right. So now we can evaluate the controls as they were meant to be evaluated. This is the one that function-wise impresses me the most, but design-wise impresses me the least. I think with a few sort of ergonomic changes here.
It's just such a sense that you have to get it in such the right position.
Yeah, like the tension has to be exactly right. It's actually not bad. I think before I had it dialed in a little weird. Now it's feeling good. Much excite.
Okay.
Well, that's the only way that I'm going to use one of these, is if it doesn't affect
Position of the torch.
yeah, and the movement and the steadiness of the torch.
Yeah.
Because that's my problem with all of them. They all require this like incremental pushing motion that inevitably, TIG welding is really sensitive.
Yeah.
You need to have your torch in exactly the right spot. Hey, got action. All right. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah?
This isn't the torch I'd be welding stainless with because it's just a standard cup. That felt really good.
Hey.
I don't know what Joe calls that particular one, but yeah, that's so nice, man.
Just the motion seems a lot smoother.
I like that. It was really easy for me to control my heat there. Well, the reason I've never found one of these that I like, so that's why on the roll cages I use pulse with a standard trigger. So the pulsing was the way that I chose to keep heat out of the part because it's like on, off, on, off, on, off. And it's actually helpful too because it gets you into a rhythm. It's like a metronome kinda. This, like, you don't have to use pulse, so it's hard to say if I would prefer this for roll cages. I'm gonna have to use this more because, you know, for roll cages, you're welding around a pipe and you're moving a lot, so it's really important that whatever's in your hand is you can move quick with it.
Right.
But if I get this positioned in just the right way, I could see really liking it. Yeah, I mean, that felt really cool.
I mean, yeah, it's starting at your base. That's 100.
Yeah, you just sort of let go of I mean, I'm roaching this part, the whole big heat soak, but
Sure.
that's cool, man. I don't know how to hold it yet. The way I have to hold this to use it, like I'm having to pinch the torch with my middle finger and my thumb to free up this, and I can't grab there because the thing needs to move, so I'm having to like come up with a way to, you know, and then that's too far forward. And like already my hand's tired from like having to finesse this thing.
Like holding a very fine pencil.
Ow.
Well, and here's the other part of the deal. There's probably some people out there that love these handheld amperage controllers to begin with.
There must be a ton of people that love handheld amperage controllers because they're everywhere. Every company makes some. This is by far the most creative solution I've ever seen. There's another guy out there that makes a button that's pressure sensitive that I've been really wanting to try.
Interesting.
Like it's just a button, but it's the harder you push it, the more amperage it gives you. So there's like literally no moving parts. I've been wanting to try that thing out, but this, I love this joystick.
Yeah.
Here, that's what you do, turn it.
Sideways?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh. I've done that so many times. I got all set up to weld and then go, oh, that's way better already. I just turned it. Yeah, and then the taper off and then let go. Yeah, that's more helpful. Actually, that's nice. Because now I can keep the torch pointed down. I like this, actually. Yeah. I'm curious to see how many, like, I think I'd like to set this up on my number 17 flex head with the gas lens that I use all the time, which is my daily driver. You know, I got an amperage control. I can compare this to something else that I have.
See what else is on the market.
This torch I ordered when I got the 210, and it's they sold it on the Everlast website. I think it was a Nova brand torch, but so this was their idea. So you have this dial from 0 to 10, which I assume represents, you know, the top, your welding amp, ceiling, and then the floor, and then a trigger.
Oh, it's weird that they're like separate.
Yeah, so it's not so much meant to change it on the fly. You can stop your weld, dial it back, dial it up, and then continue. Obviously, I couldn't even find where I stored this away, so I don't use this all the time. I did for a little while. The trigger location itself is nice, and the fact that there was a trigger built into the body of the torch was nice. Now, it's a 26 series, which is a big torch, and it's a rigid head, which once you go flex head, it's hard to go back because this thing will just, you can put it wherever you want. You can go inside, outside. It's like the right answer is the combination of all three of these. Like This one's well made and integrated into the body. Trigger feels good. This is the most clever solution. Like offers the most sensitivity and control and works in a really appealing way, but it's a little clunky. It's just an on-off, and I like the ergonomics of it. It's really simple. The right answer is somewhere in between, but like that's the thing is, go check out HotLights Welding and see everything that Joe has to offer. This might be the best thing you've ever strapped to your TIG torch. Me personally, just being honest.
Which he asked us to be.
Yeah, I'm not super sold on it, but I loved the process back and forth with Joe of like, because now Joe knows how to set up these for the Everlast 210. I mean, he did it before because he sent some directly to Everlast. He said, and they loved him, which is cool. Shout out Jesse and Oleg over there at Everlast. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say it's the best thing since sliced bread. I think it's really cool, and if I put it on a torch that I like better and get the settings dialed in, I might find the exact right project for this. In any case, it's really nice to have this around because building your torch for the project you got, like there might be an aluminum job I want to use this for. Pulse isn't the easiest to dial in for aluminum, so it would be nice to maybe use this for aluminum, and thin stainless.
Well, it'll be cool to see what other ideas Joe's got for refinement in the next few weeks, even months, because he seems to be pretty quick on his feet.
Yeah, Joe moves quick. He overnighted this to us, and of course we couldn't get to it last week, but sorry for the extra expense there, buddy. But in any case, cool little trick piece, and they're working now. But anyway, check out HotLights Welding. Let me get back to doing something else.
There we go.